Another agenda, we'll have to go.
Over there. Pass it down.
Hey.
Did you have to go back to your car and
Yes.
get something? Okay. So I think we got everybody who's gonna be here. Oh, here's her. Huh?
Did you know I had come in?
I had heard, so he had said that someone was coming in and had to go to their car. All right.
And go out on the phone.
Mhm. I think we're ready to start.
On to order. First thing would be the approval of minutes from last meeting.
I move we approve. Second.
Second. Vote.
Aye.
All in favor? Patsy was the,
Patsy and John.
Next would be the public comments.
You got any comments?
I'm sorry.
And on Zoom, Herman, who's on the board, is on, and then Lyle Sharif is on. Lyle, did you have any comments? Or you just listening?
Oh, he's muted.
I think you can unmute him. If you can unmute. He does. Right. And approval of the agenda. The approval of the agenda.
Approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
No. Nancy?
All in favor?
And all in favor? Thank
Yeah.
you. Who's excited?
Okay. So, going into our updates, I was out for our events team meeting on Thursday, but Terry and Dakota took care of that. And, there was some discussion on, events for Seventh Avenue that they had at the committee. And so committee already talked about it, and then now we want to bring it to the board, and I'm gonna let Terry and Dakota take it over.
So regarding the Seventh Avenue Street Fest, we did bring 3 options to the table for the events team as the most logical ways to go with it. First option is event remains the same as it was done in 2025 with a full street closure. And some of just the things that I had said regarding that full street closure, which it was a great event. However, that event was also specific to the grand opening of 7th Avenue. So that gave it a little bit of a twist last year for the event. So there was a little bit more to it, and it was a full closure. That being said, as you know, we have the majority of everything falls on us in May. So it is the opening of the farmer's market. It is the fair auction. It's Garden Jubilee. So that particular month is quite a lot on our plates as far as just for 3 people, basically. So what we were looking at is that event in its entirety. So something else about that event is that particular closure is a bit of a bear because you have a large, on the Grove Street side, that's kind of a large area for closure. You run into another, large expanse of space that remains open is around Hearth and Heron. that particular area is very wide open. Now, we did have the stage area there. So it's a lot for Public Works in that arena, and it's just a lot. That was a big event. Also on my not personal, but my end of things as raising money for events. That was very specific to the grand opening. So that left me a lot wider for receiving funds. Those funds kind of came from the construction companies were some of that. And so thinking on that, it would be a little bit of a different, it would not be the same ask. And what that ask would be would definitely be different. And I don't know if the same enthusiasm would be there for that ask again and again. Possibly yes, depending on who you were asking. So that is one of the presentations. And the one other thing I would want to mention that I observed when doing the event is that the majority of the people that came to the event and that were crowded and around the event seemed to be more on the Maple Street side of things, kind of where Locust came in and where Chicken Shack was. That's kind of where the band was. And there was past that, there were a lot of people congregated in that area and down Farmers Market, that kind of thing. Not so much, although we did have things to do. We had another brewery. We had Guidon in that area, but we had Southern Appalachian Brewery down at the end. We had hands-on. We had a number of, there were still activities and things to do on that end of it. However, it wasn't really fully utilized. There weren't a lot of people down in that area. So that was kind of another thing that I just saw as the event was going on. Which kind of led to the second option, which would be a partial street closure. And that would be less anyway on Public Works, because it wouldn't be so much that would be in use for that, trying to do that big closure. And really it's a lot, and it's a lot of barricades and just a lot of work. So a little less work would be the closure at Locust. That gives a better traffic flow. So traffic would be able to come at least to the Locust area and make that turn if they needed to. And then on the other side, they could make the turn on the other side of the tracks. And that would be utilizing that one block that's closest to Maple, and then the full Maple Street and crossing. So that would be kind of a bigger expanse, still involving Public Works, still involving closures and all that. The third option that we went with, and we have actually a really great example that I can let Dakota tell you about. But this option we've actually just done. So we have really good eyes on how this option works. And it also frees us up to, the one other thing that I just forgot to mention in the other two is it's also very specific to 7th and to Maple. It's kind of like, this is the event right here. And it doesn't so much encompass the entire district, as in all the way down Locust and where, Art League would be, and where a lot of the other businesses, Guidon and Southern App. And in the third scenario, that would not be the case, because it opens it up to the entire district. And that would be to have sidewalk festivals. And the idea with this is that we would utilize the.
Oh, here, sorry.
You've got it covered.
Oh, there it is at the bottom. So, because this is in conjunction with the opening day of the farmers market, and the farmers market really is the anchor here for would be the anchor for either one,
Mhm.
for option one, option two, and option three, but also comes more into play. This option allows us the ability to dedicate a lot more time and energy than that we would have in that one time in May, because May is just a lot.
What, are you talking about option three?
Option three
Yeah.
would be that we would do sidewalk festival, just like we did the cookie stroll, encompassing the whole district, all the way down Locust, all using pretty much everything. And it would be in conjunction with the opening day of farmers market. But then if it was a sidewalk festival, we're not dealing with a lot of closures and that kind of thing. We could expand that, not just for that one day, but into events throughout the year, in conjunction with, we would say tomato, like some of the really bigger events at the market, Tomato Day, and encouraging just the whole district to come and be a part of Tomato Day or Juneteenth, Go Pink Day,
Mhm.
and just have a lot more energy to throw at that, be able to do the social media, be able to do it for the entire district, and have that as a sidewalk festival.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna let Dakota tell you about Cookie Stroll, and then from being just a Main Street merchant from long ago, I can also tell you that that's how Art on Main started. So sidewalk festivals do work very well. So there's nothing wrong with those at all. So I'll let Dakota tell you how Cookie Stroll went.
Yeah, so Cookie Stroll was a major success from just what I've gotten feedback from our point of view as well. We planned and planned and planned. We had about 13 to 14 Seventh Avenue District businesses participate. Only one of them wasn't open, and that was because of miscommunication. But Jamie ordered about 200 cookie bags. We gave them out in the first hour. Most businesses were out of cookies in the first hour. This is like a 4-hour event. And, after I picked the Santa mailbox up from the Art League, I counted 190 passports turned in for a raffle. So
You wouldn't give them a cookie till they dropped it in.
that's good. We were going into this hoping for like 50 to 75 people. We got over 100 people, almost maybe over 200 people participating. So the want and desire for that kind of stuff on 7th was very clearly there. And we were able to help businesses like Carolina Futon and Botanica, which is the new plant store down 7th as well. People were actually going farther down than just the
Yellow
center
Cottage.
point, Yellow Cottage,
Yeah.
and a few other places. So we definitely see the need and want for more activity on 7th. And like Terry was saying, incorporating some of the events that we already have established is just a great way to include the district, include the community, especially on days like Tomato Day, where we get, a couple thousand people coming through the farmer's market. If we could share that love through the entire district, that's the goal. And we also talked they don't necessarily have to be called Tomato Day passports or Pollinator Day passports, but kind of just playing off of each other. Because what we noticed at the Cookie Stroll was a lot of people came to the info tent saying, hey, we're here for the Cookie Stroll. And then they stayed for the market. And then a lot of regular market attendees going, what's the Cookie Stroll? And then going out and exploring from the market. So it was kind of a win-win for both. So we believe that, moving forward with just how 7th Avenue is, and it's more than just the one street, it's, Locust Street, it's the whole district, that this will be easier for us to include everybody.
Well, I don't think you, at least personally, from somebody who was part of the Cookie Stroll, I don't think you have to push that hard. It makes sense that you do event 3 and, maybe we come up with some other, obviously people came around because they wanted a treat. So we might have to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can be, it's really, I
Like
feel like
the
with these,
scavenger hunt.
it's the experience.
Mhm.
It's, they want to do something with their kids. They want to go from place to place. Even just
I think we should have a find Hendo, for.
Yeah, and even scavenger, anything, or even really, and I've heard just from Peppermint Bear that really it's just the looking and the getting something signed, not so much, I mean, yeah.
Necessarily. We need a reward, just the act of the scavenger hunt is a draw itself.
And part of why we wanted to talk about it at the events committee and then bring it to y'all is because, one, we didn't want to get into like spring and then have people say, okay, when are we closing down Seventh Avenue to do an event? And then we're like, oh gosh, how are we, like, because it logistically closing that street was difficult.
Made sense.
And it for that, yeah, and so, but we wanted to make sure that there's some thoughts on the board on that first, and in my opinion, that, because last year, like, we had the event was great, everyone's like, oh yeah, we gotta do this again. But then when we get to I'm not sure. But then when we get to number 2 of the closing it from Maple to Locust, that really, like, at that point, why close that
Why bother?
and
Yeah.
reroute traffic
Right.
when Maple is kind of already like Festival Street
Right.
for it, but we just wanted to.
It seems like sorry, we're gonna say something, Phil.
One or the other. Go ahead, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, the events team opted for 3, but is that, I assume that they support, because you guys are the one putting it on.
Mhm.
That's what you all are behind 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nancy was there. She can.
Yeah, the events team wholeheartedly support option 3 and it makes more sense.
Right. And would there be tents on the sidewalk in that case? Like, how does the sidewalk? Like, what does that exactly
You
mean?
just mean they use the sidewalk to move from place to place, whatever. it
Yeah.
is.
Got it.
I mean, we're not closed off to like other ideas, like maybe like if there is room for tents and stuff, depending on what we do. But a lot of we wanted to encourage people to go into the businesses. That was,
Right, right.
I mean,
We had a lot of new visitors.
at this point, well, there's 2 things. One, I know the events committee is used to doing this. However, this is a new
Mhm.
thing, right? So I feel that there are some other voices on 7th that need to be
Mhm.
heard. Okay, now I think the choice is right personally. But, Matt and Carly, I can go down the line that there are some other folks that, need to hear about this and have an opportunity to give input. Secondly, 7th Avenue at the present time, we don't have enough magnetism to do a street closure. I'm sorry, but there's not enough horsepower there to get the number of bodies on the street to make it look like a viable festival. We had, as you said, we had multiple purposes last spring, right? So for the grand opening and blah, blah, blah. But I think at this stage of 7th's development, it's better to take what we know was a win and massage that, right? And try and work it into, springtime and so forth. I wouldn't suggest cookies maybe, but,
Yeah.
I mean.
It's that format of getting
That's part, yeah.
Yes, and even shutting down half the street,
Yeah.
then I feel left out,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And I'd rather have the streets populated with what happened at Christmas.
Yeah.
And then it's new, right? So then we begin to build from there because it's gonna take a few years to generate the kind of pull
Mhm.
that we need to truly benefit the businesses. Because Cookie got a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
They didn't put any money in the till.
Well, that's not, Artley got sales.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot,
But it's more like but it got a lot more people
But it got-
talking about what you got.
and it got a lot of people that didn't know that we existed
Marketing.
on.
Got
Yeah.
people there.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then
You had us at Sidewalk Festival number 3. I don't think I don't know.
We need to vote.
I remember last year, we chose opening day of the farmer's market because we thought it would be easy to kind of piggyback the 2 things. So like, we're already doing this. Let's just push it back to one. if the experience doesn't line up with that, like the date was a little bit arbitrary. It doesn't need to be opening day in the middle of the summertime.
Yeah, I think with the,
Block party type thing still.
I think if it was a block party closing the street down, the best thing for doing that would be having Maple be the event area for like, just not on Saturdays during the farmer's market type of thing, but like that, because the Maple is built in a better way to make it, like, we shut it down every week. It's a lot easier to shut down, and safer and like traffic flow.
You're talking about the depot side of Maple.
Yeah. I mean, really, the other side's wouldn't be that much different as far as closing it down. If like somebody approached the city about wanting to do a small event, like we want to try to push in some of the event organizers to Maple and really like say the Pasta Noodles applies for an event wanting to do some kind of like pasta festival.
Oh, yeah.
That little section right there on Maple would work pretty well for closing it down. It might not necessarily be as pretty.
We can put a
But-
band on
Yeah.
the corner.
But closing that whole, like the multiple intersections and the big open area of Hearth and Heron, like safety wise,
It was
it's just like. it's-
nightmare.
Plus, it's cool with one block of Locust for certain festivals, like some other people have a nice little one block festival.
That's
So
right.
you keep saying Maple, but Locust wants you.
Yeah, and those would all just be as event organizers
Right.
applied to the city and how that works. But for the ones that we're doing, it sounds like I would like a motion on that. But we can also make sure that we let like the people who participated in the past in the opening to know about that. So, but it would be,
Yeah.
But adding to what Aaron said, we don't have to wait till opening day. Why not do an Easter egg hunt or something like that and get them back into Seventh Avenue even before opening day?
well, I would say what worked well with it being paired with the market was the critical mass of people that were already in the
Under
market.
there already.
I do think, and this is something we can explore more, is when the Art League has their, and we're getting off topic a little bit, but when y'all have like your opening,
Friday.
yeah, and I know we all talked some more about doing like a first Friday type of thing. So I think that's where it gets kind of, and that's definitely like a merchant thing that we can help kind of support.
I think for the next couple of years, you're gonna want to, I would focus on that opening day
Mhm.
because you
Yeah,
need home run.
tradition.
Yeah.
You don't need a base hit. You want a home run to get that ball moving.
Mhm.
So it happens every year.
Yeah,
And then these other weekend festivals, right?
No reason not
You've got some momentum,
Mhm.
right? From a big crowd that you get to feed off.
Mhm. Yeah.
One, talk about getting crowds and stuff. Now, yes, this could be my fault, but I don't always pay real good attention. But I pulled into the office the day of the cookie stroll, had no idea what was going on. And I'm like, how did I miss this? How did I not know what was happening?
It was a little bit thrown together.
Yeah.
I will tell you.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention during a meeting that it was or something like that, but I was like, cookie stroll, and I just happened to see the lady across the street had some hot chocolate cookies, and I'm like, she must be giving away cookies. Nothing of it. And then one of my guys said he was on the cookie stroll. I said, what are you talking about? He explained they went and got it. Oh, okay, that's going on. I just say that to say I'm on Seventh Avenue every day and I knew nothing about it. And I talked to other people about other events in town that I find out after the fact. And a lot of people didn't even know that was happening. And I say all that to just say that, and I brought this up before, that I think the advertising or the noticing or letting people know, I think a lot of the events, and I know part of it is to kind of keep it throttled down. But I think if we let people know things were happening when they were happening with a little bit of notice, they would be much busier.
Well, we rely on our websites, the Hendersonville websites to notify everybody that, there's rhythm and blues or
Mhm.
whatever is coming up, right? And I think, maybe,
And I've never
Maybe
been
most
to the
people-
website.
yeah,
Did you hear about Holiday Market?
Yeah,
Same.
there was a lot of advertising. I think I'd have to argue a little bit, Chris, because they had the whole schedule of what was going on in Main Street for the whole month of December. So
but you're plugged into it.
no, it was things you'd see in the newspaper, things you'd see in the Hendersonville magazine, things. I thought it was pretty well publicized, especially for a short,
Yeah, I will say with Cookie Stroll, that one was one that we'd gotten approached by a couple of businesses. We're like, yeah, well, whatever. Like,
Well-
especially for Main Street or Seventh Avenue, but if businesses come to us and they say they got an idea of doing something that we could put some marketing support by that we'll throw some work behind it.
Maybe we need a banner to hang across Seventh Avenue to keep Chris.
For Chris.
I do get the emails and I do share those with a lot of people that I know would be interested. But honestly, I know there are things that happen that
Yeah.
I'm clueless about and
I would definitely recommend a cookie stroll again next year because I think they'll start looking for that. So if we start something at the first farmer's market, more than the first farmer's in addition to,
yes.
added on to, I think people will start.
In
looking
terms of
for
the
it.
experience of people going down there, what will distinguish this from just a farmer's market opening day?
Well, Endo.
For different ones, they would get some type of little passport or something where they'd go to different places. Like for the Cookie Stroll, we gave each of the businesses that participated a stipend of $250 where they'd buy the cookies. Turned out that might not have been enough.
No, it was, because I went to Sam's and we did not run out of cookies.
And
We stayed within that budget.
bags, some swag stuff to give away, and then they turned them in at the art league to get a prize, to win a prize. And
People were very excited about the
There
raffle
was-
prizes. They went
Yeah.
really well.
What did they win?
We had some donations from RN Seventh, which was some Christmas ornaments. And then Lana, since the cookie stroll was one of her ideas, she donated this little pasta basket. And then we also added just some swag that we had, farmers market shirts, Seventh Avenue tote bags, things like that. And it was a hit.
Good.
It's great.
People really don't, it seems that it doesn't really matter what you do. It's just they love the idea of getting something.
Yeah.
So-
And
It's kind of not thrown together, but not the most carefully planned event that we had all year.
no, yeah, no,
It
yeah.
was surprisingly successful.
Yeah.
And none of us are ignoring that part of it, so. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's no reason not to continue doing this every single week also, and yes, like what John said, it's. I think the attracting, the driving force was holiday market, and then some of it's going on there and it's going on, so if we're already have opening day going on, I don't see. A detriment to go on, it's also Seventh Avenue's. Establishment, go check out these places.
yeah, exactly.
Got people's attention.
Yeah, probably what our next step would be to get with the businesses that participate in different things, let them know this is kind of what our plan is and give, and pull them together. Cause that's kind of how it started with getting this cookie stroll together, and then give them those couple of, special days for the market. Cause that really needs stuff to advertise around. And the holiday market was a good one to advertise around. So then Tomato Day is a good one to advertise around for different things. And so I think that would just be our next step. So I think really some type of motion that says that we're okay with not closing the street down for an event. I think that's probably sufficient, and basically a motion that you won't expect us to, be asking us a month before you think that we're having an event, when that event is and when we're shutting it down. Yeah.
I move to not guarantee that there'll be a block party on Seventh where all the streets are closed.
Maybe we should have a positive motion.
Okay, make it more positive.
We'll go with the side.
Just go with.
Go with event 3.
That are actually putting it on.
I move to transition to a sidewalk festival along the same lines as the cookie stroll.
Perfect. Second.
I
Aye.
Great.
a place you could get some banners, put it on a triangle up on the top of the hill. Seventh Avenue.
Yeah.
Everybody driving by, cause
For
it
some
is,
reason, Banner.
And it's one of those last minute, yeah, it's like, oh.
Mhm.
We'll do tomorrow.
It does
Yeah.
get attention though. It does get attention.
Yeah, I had to find a better place to put.
Well, now that we're gonna have more ample time to plan and not just like the short
Then they get.
bursts that we have the time to work with, we will be able to do a little bit more on that end as well.
When you think you short planning and you have that count,
Yeah, worked out. And I think I might have did like a $20 boost on a Facebook ad.
Yeah.
And that was about it. As far as advertising. for
But I
that.
think
Are you up to ideas for Saturday sidewalk festivals? You want people to contribute? You guys are doing your own research on it.
I think what we need, because these type of events are most important to have the businesses that are participating be a part of that one. So I think that probably what we need to do is pull the people who participated at the cookie stroll together and figure that out. That'd be a next step. Just on that same sheet, it's just got some of what our special event days are coming up. There's not really a lot of other particular updates on events that we've got for this. So for time, I'll move on to economic vitality. I think in the packets.
This week, economic, we talked about upcoming events, on the 29th, end of this month, in the morning, business breakfast. This is gonna be a sort of contact point for business owners, stakeholders, anybody that's interested in the MSD program. Just kind of letting them know what we do, what the boards do, what resources are available to them, and what kind of the panel, what their experience is like working with the city and in business at the same time. This is a good networking opportunity. It's a good, like I said, kind of communication of what the city does and what resources are available for people.
Great idea.
This is gonna be the first time we're doing it. It's.
And if you please RSVP on the link that I had emailed out for,
I was gonna ask you, have you had very many yet?
yeah, I think it's about 60
Mhm.
or so that have RSVP'd.
Good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I think that was, that's the idea of it. This is the first time we're gonna be doing it. So we're gonna kind of see how it goes. And
Spread the word.
Are you gonna target parking kiosks? You
Spread the
might not
word.
want to talk at that.
Yeah, I'll talk on that.
No, but that's not part of the breakfast meeting. No parking. No parking.
We are not going to ask the 60 businesses in the room what their opinions are.
that was a big focus, and we talked a little bit about another thing. What was it?
The parking, that, if I can take a minute on that. Or did you have anything else on the, okay.
The business coming up.
Okay. Yes, please. Yeah, please RSVP for my numbers. Because we might be filling up that room pretty tight, which is good. So parking kiosks. So, and this is, the Economic Vitality Committee reviewed this. So, we've had a series of we've had our consultant who helped us do the bidding and everything for the parking garage and the kiosks and everything. They're basically a parking consultant. And we had worked with them this summer to do a review of our parking contract with the people who work on all the machines and everything. And we've had a lot of downtime on particularly our parking kiosks. And one of the biggest causes of downtime has been mechanical failures because of cash and coin being accepted. And just kind of a little bit of context, I had gone, and Kristen, parking supervisor, we both went to a parking conference in Asheville back in the fall. And we went to all the exhibitors to find out what these different types of kiosks are. And none of these companies want to have cash or coin because they always break everything. And so it's caused, the cash and coin has caused mechanical failures, which has caused downtime for the individual kiosks. And so one thing that we'll be looking to do, and city manager will bring to city council and ask their opinions of, is if we're okay with removing the option of cash and coin from the kiosks that we have on Main Street. That was one of the big sticking points when we put the kiosks in, was to have cash and coin because of our population and the age of our population that tends to use cash and coin. But if it's making them not work, then that's not really,
How many people, what percentage?
it's like, it's like, yeah, 3 to 5% of total money.
3 or 5?
Yeah, 3 to 5. Yeah. Oh, yes. It's less than 10, less than 7% of our total revenue from the meters comes from cash or coin. So it's a small portion that use it. And that's given if it works or not at the time that they're trying to use it. And so Economic Vitality Committee said that they were all good if the cash and coin were removed, but just wanted to get the thoughts from everyone here. And then the second thing that we'll be looking to do, and I'm not sure how soon that would be, but the other big, probably one of the biggest, I'd say, complaint of that has some, any complaint has legitimacy, but this one is one that I feel like is valid, is people who are in handicap parking spaces having difficulty with the mechanism of the kiosk and doing their tag number and all that kind of stuff. And so the other thing we'd be looking at is possibly putting like regular kind of old school type of meter heads at the handicap spaces, because every handicap space is 2 at a time. So it'd be like one in the middle where you pay left or right. I believe those would be able to take coin still. We're not sure on the details of that. So that one is not anything that I necessarily need opinions on right now, the ADA ones, but the cash and coin, if anyone.
The only thing I would recommend is always do something positive with the change that some people look at it as negative, like an education period where you actually have somebody standing by those machines to make a friendly, be a friendly face to say, we're not trying to punish you. We just are trying to help you to do it.
You're saying Alvarez isn't friendly?
No, I mean,
I've seen them help a lot. I really have seen them help a lot of people.
it's one person though, but I mean, like if we have an
Yeah.
intro month or
Yeah.
intro week that,
And that was what we did whenever the meters first went in, because we were all out there
Yeah.
in our yellow vests, and city leaders and all that were out there
Mhm.
trying to help people.
I mean, you'll get people yelling no matter
Yeah.
what, but
That, yeah.
change happens, the change happens. Oh, but not this case.
Yeah.
Change does not happen.
I don't know that we necessarily need a vote, but if there is anyone who has any strongly held opinions on.
I've thought since then that if it's a low percentage of your overall sales, probably a big percentage of that probably happened on busy days like Apple Fest and stuff. On a day like that, it might be worthwhile. You put an attendant out there and take your cash.
Well, those days it wouldn't even,
It wouldn't happen.
because the street would be closed. Yeah.
That's true too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you wanted to give that option to somebody, maybe that'd be worthwhile. Somebody would just hand it out.
Or if they get really mad, point a block that way, it's free.
Or-
Yeah, and that's-
For some reason that you might know.
And that's where we've really.
Are there any stats on the amount of fees collected between 5 and 7 people?
We do have that. So if you go, and I can send this link,
When we drop the change and cash option, could we drop to 5 PM instead of 7 PM?
that's not one that I think we'd be ready to look at yet. Because let's see.
You mean that it's no pay after 5?
Yeah, we had looked at that before, and it's a pretty significant amount. And so the fund isn't
Funny.
ready to do that. But if you ever want to look, and I can send this, and I don't know if it's all the way up to date as far as dates, but this you can
You go to the city, do you just put in parking occupancy?
it's on the budget page. I could send that out. So this is the 6 to 7 hour. And in the year on Main Street, that was about 11% of the revenue. And so I don't think that would be at a point where, I don't think that the revenue is at a point, because right now the general fund's still propping up the parking debt on the garage. But that was one, that hour was one, there were several different things that we talked about before, but I just don't think, maybe in a couple years, we might be at a point where we can kind
Take it
of
down to 6.
look at what things,
What's the 5 PM hour? 11%.
Wow.
40%.
Wow.
Yeah,
40.
so it's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah, and then, okay, percent don't look at the cash because that's more than a year period, but but percentage, that's percent of the total, yeah.
Well,
When the machines are down because of the cash, do they still work for the credit card or is it all down?
It depends on what the problem was with it. We've really tried to push people using the app more than anything. Because the app has a lot less room for breaking than the machines, and we don't have it split out between machine and not.
Is this still a first hour free? It's
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay, I
Yes.
the park up 2 blocks away.
Yeah, the garage and the lots are an hour.
Okay, so if you register with Park Mobile and you're only there 30 minutes, you won't be charged.
Yep,
Do we have the percentage for Park Mobile versus the,
I don't have that in front of me now.
But if you don't register, then you get a fee.
Yeah, but if it's your first time, you get a warning.
You pass that.
Oh. You get a new car, a new license plate, then you.
Yeah.
The only other thing with economic vitality, I was going to bring this today, but I've been talking with the tenant and it's at 627 7th Avenue East where they've done the new mural with the bear on the side of the building.
Real estate people.
Yeah, but I've been working with them on a facade, but really, it's more than what the tenant can do as far as cost wise, and so that's going to take a little bit more.
Are you talking about where it's already been painted?
Yeah, but they're like a new storefront, like a.
I thought we didn't give any kind of grants if they did the work before they asked.
No, that's this would have been for more detailed work into it. So that's not us.
Okay.
And that's all I've got for economic vitality. And then
Any character?
We've been busy constantly talking about public art policy and the Public Art Advisory Committee. So that's PAC and HPAP, if you want to say the acronyms. But actually, we have a goal to review the documents that we've already got started and get any feedback and corrections or additions or amendments to what's been written to Jamie by the 16th.
20th.
No, by the 20th, that's right. She was going to send a reminder out on the 16th to tell everyone to have it by the 20th. So we're looking at the makeup of the committee. It looks like it's probably going to be a 7-member recommended committee. Of course, whatever we're coming up with in the community character, we will then bring it to this board and then it goes to city council. So there's still things in the works.
and I did include just the executive summary page here I didn't include the whole.
But the public art plan. Then the other thing we talked about was garbage cans. We're talking trash in our committee. No, that there's some Maple Street venues, particularly at the corner and maybe right next door to it, that they don't have a back access to put trash cans out. And the bottom line was, we didn't think it was something community character could answer and that it should go back to public works, businesses and public works. So that's where we are.
And that might be one that eventually, if the tenant would like to really approach that, then they may come to this board and ask for their thoughts.
They were
Hopefully.
trying to build a structure on the
Yeah.
sidewalk, but there's not a really
Yeah.
big sidewalk there.
Yeah, so that's
Sidewalks narrow.
yeah, nothing that we necessarily feel like we should address.
So that was our meeting.
And then, oh, sorry.
No, and then as she said, there's a summary of what we're working on.
And then I just had just a couple updates or things put on your calendar. I guess I kind of had realized that I don't always, so every month on the second Wednesday, so every morning after the board meeting, basically, unless it falls funny, at the Elks Lodge is Business Morning Update. And so that's a meeting that's in partnership with downtown, the Chamber, Small Business Center, and the Hendersonville Merchants Association. And it's just a breakfast open meeting. Anyone can come. It's at the Elks Lodge, and there's always 3 different business related presenters on it. A couple months ago, the Art League, Diane spoke to it. A lot of times there's somebody in manufacturing who speaks for it. Sometimes the city or the county will give an update. And then me and the Chamber and Small Business Center, I'll just give a little quick update of any kind of new things that we want people to know about. But particularly the one that's happening tomorrow morning, and it's short notice, but we're going to have a similar update with the unhoused resources with the city and Love and Respect. They're going to speak again at that because after they spoke at the committee, I was like, I want to get them in front of as many people as we can. The TDA is going to give an update, and the Register of Deeds. Those that everyone speaks for about 10-15 minutes. Usually about 50, 60 or so people who come to it. So just wanted, it occurred to me that I didn't know if I ever really put that on any kind of calendar for our folks.
That's that Love and Respect.
Yeah, so just wanted to kind of have that on everyone's radar. That's always something that's free and open, and you have free breakfast and hear something new. So just kind of keep that in mind, always the second Wednesday. And then the other thing I'd sent an email about to everybody was the Main Street Conference in New Bern in March. So we won't have our board meeting in March. We'll have our committee meetings, and Cheryl's going to come. And if anyone else would like to attend, I know several of y'all have been able to attend some of the conferences before. New Bern is a bit of a drive. It's about a 6-hour drive. But if anybody would like to attend, just let me know, even if it's kind of like a maybe, because I can at least hold the hotel room. Because those are what's going to fill up, but they can be canceled like up until a couple of days before. So if you're considering it, just let me know so I can get a room held, and we'll be able to cover the cost of conference registration and the hotel for like board members, volunteers who attend.
If you haven't been, it's worth going to one.
Yeah, you learn a lot at it. And one thing that I know Caroline used to say this to the board about it, like you always figure out how good we have it here. Like everyone's always like, oh, Hendersonville, what are you doing? And they always want to know always want to come to us for advice, which is kind of neat. Yeah. So if you'd like to attend, let me know. And that's all I have.
Any new business?
I don't have any. Anyone have any new or
I
unfinished?
got a question, though. What has happened with the Cajun parade?
Oh, Mardi Gras.
Well, the T-Rex parade,
Yeah.
it's still happening. We have about 9 to 11 crews signed up, waiting for actual people to fill out forms, but have told me that they are very interested in doing it. We just got confirmation today that the Asheville Second Line Band will be a part of the parade as well.
So that's great.
And Jamie and I have actually been working with Stephanie. Oh, I forget her last name.
Starts with a K.
Starts with a K. She works here in Hendersonville, but she's a part of the Asheville Mardi Gras board, or was her crew of Bastet. She's been helping us out a lot, making connections. So we actually have 2 crews from the Asheville Mardi Gras crew participating in our Mardi Gras parade, which is really.
Is it again? It's February 7th. Thanks.
And we're actually, with the crew of Bastet's help, we are hosting a DIY Mardi Gras mask workshop at Southern Appalachian Brewing to kind of get people excited about it. And we have a few different events going on around the area as well during the day. Homemade Pasta Noodles is doing a Mardi Gras gala, and the Henderson's doing a big reservation dinner, Mardi Gras dinner. And yeah, if you want to pass those around, some of the events there, Mini Batch Bakery's making king cakes for the season. Okawaha Brewing's doing the after party for the parade. So there's a big Mardi Gras party. And if any other businesses want to do something, please let me know. We will promote it. We will advertise for it. You don't necessarily have to do a float, but if you do something Mardi Gras related, just let us know.
Y'all know about the, about Adair's?
There's, yeah. Mhm.
It's Cajun Creole food.
Oh, I think,
Yeah, a few people have brought that one up.
yeah, I think they're gonna be at Southern App on the craft day, as part of that little fun event.
They're good.
Yeah, I think Kelly
Yeah.
booked them immediately.
She has them over a lot,
Yeah,
yeah.
The parade's on Main Street,
it's on the sidewalks.
but not on Seven. So homemade pasta noodles having an event that you'll just promote.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what,
Same with mini batch. You keep
Yeah.
Yes.
doing it. Okay.
yeah, that's what like with the actual Mardi Gras, they like leading up to Mardi Gras, there's like
A
different,
lot
like,
of stuff.
there's like chili cook-offs or not chili, Cajun cook-offs, or like the decorating, like different types of parties and stuff that people
Mhm.
have like leading up to it. And so that's what we're trying to like encourage people to do is like think of not even this, probably even maybe better not to be on that day, but like
Yeah.
before or after. And like what they do, like the pancake.
Are you throwing beads and candy and stuff like they do at Mardi Gras?
We're-
I don't do.
Little throws because it's petite parade, but we're gonna encourage some of the businesses to do the throws, like if,
It's a little throw.
well, if I had
Yeah.
it, the Apple Country Woodcrafters made these little wooden coins that have the our little Mardi Gras logo for the parade on it, and then like, web link to their website for more information. So stuff like that. Because really, we just want this event to be a catalyst for,
Probably be more of like a hand.
yeah, it's gonna be more like a hand.
They discourage that, but you're not gonna do any beads? We should get on, find some beads.
If you wanna do.
You probably get like, just, we probably will want to have some extra supplementary costume for
Yeah.
the, just to make sure that, we know that the actual Mardi Gras folks will be dressed
They're gonna
up.
be,
But we want to make sure
full.
that some of the other, like, if they come and don't have something.
we'll have some like extra masks, maybe some hats
We'll get
or
some of that.
beads. But we're, for a first time event, I think it's doing pretty well, especially coming right after the holidays where, nobody was thinking about it. And in this past couple weeks, I've heard a bunch of different organizations talk about it. We've had a bunch of people sign up for it. And I think this year will be a great year to make people jealous that they didn't do it. And then the future years will be way bigger. So we're very excited.
Is there a cap? I see, like you just got what, 9 to 11? Is there a cap on?
So we were thinking like 20 as like
Goal.
the high end goal. In New Orleans, they do 30 as their cap. Obviously, we're not New Orleans, but 20 was what the Apple Woodcrafters were really hoping to shoot for, because this is a fundraiser for them, so they obviously want as much participation as possible. But my goal is 12 to 15 would be a good number, 15 being really great, and then next year increasing that steadily.
How many blocks?
It's gonna be from the Welcome Center all the way up to North Main, and then we're gonna cross over and go back down to Ocklawaha. So
6 blocks.
6 blocks,
Oh.
kind of back.
Just on the sidewalk.
And
Yeah, yeah. We got a band,
Is anybody gonna have?
3 to 6.
Crawfish? Actually, I think,
Oh, the Hendersons.
the Henderson's gonna do, they have their menu. It's not officially posted yet, but they sent me a draft of their menu. I think they're gonna do crawfish, soup or, yeah. They're gonna do a few different traditional dishes, and so is Lana. Lana's gonna have a lot of traditional appetizers, cocktails and things like that. So there's gonna be,
so you'll be adding more to this if more.
And that's
Yes.
just kind of to show some examples for other folks who want to.
yeah, that's what we have. And because, Jamie's going to Business Morning Update tomorrow, so we just want to give people examples of things that other people are doing to encourage more. And like Jamie said, like in the future, like a lot of these events are happening day of, but like, in January leading up to the event to get people excited, like the, make your own Mardi Gras mask thing, just simple things to help,
Yeah, give us something to advertise.
yeah.
It would be great if we could get to the merchants and like we could decorate the front of our stores.
Yeah, that did come up as a
Mhm.
window decorating contest. Cause that's, yeah,
We think this year was a little too short notice for that idea, but like moving forward, we
Yeah.
definitely want to do a Mardi Gras window display
yeah.
in
And I think you
theme with
should.
whatever the parade is.
But I think if you're ready, like, I think it would be great for them to do it. I don't know
Yes.
if we got the time to get people to.
It-
Yeah, I was gonna say, y'all should decorate.
If you decorate it, they'll come take pictures
Yeah.
and do a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
We just won't have an official
Okay.
display
Prize.
competition this year. So, encourage your merchant neighbors to do something, encourage, just, we just want to try to bring as much energy during this time of the year as possible. So. But yeah, we're really excited for it.
Awesome.
You're gonna change your name to Boudreaux for the week?
I could. That's actually what my little brother used to call me. Boudreaux.
Right, anything else from anybody? Motion?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Oh,
Aye.
Done.
Thanks, everybody.
thank y'all.